Good morning. Hey y'all, I'm here in Hampton Park this morning in downtown Charleston. I live in the city, so every single morning I come out here. Today it's a beautiful rainy day and I'm throwing the ball with my dog, Pearl, who's very patiently waiting. And I wanted to take you over to one of my favorite oak trees here behind me, this huge one. It's really big. I'm just standing pretty far away, so maybe you can't tell. So I can show you a practice that I call branching breathing. It's really a way of tracing the thoughts in the mind all the way down their branches and then returning them back to the trunk and the roots and coming back to the breath. So thanks for joining me this morning. I'm excited to have you out here in the rain with me. All right, let's get a little bit of a close-up of this gigantic, beautiful live oak tree. Walking over from where I was standing halfway across this field. I love the way that these branches get so big, they come down to touch the ground. They almost look like more trees coming up. There's a whole bunch of lyre-leaf sage and Florida betony underneath, right around the edge of the canopy on the forest floor. There's so many ways to wiggle in here, but this is one I'll take you through. You might be able to hear a few cars or an airplane. Oh, here we go. But this guy, this guy's a fun one to spend some time with in the mornings. Maybe you can hear the birds. There's other people out here enjoying the park, but it's kind of like its own little forest, like little cave, I guess, if you will, a quiet dwelling space where I get to come up to this tree and have some quiet time connecting to my breath and recognizing what thoughts I'm holding. I'm leaning up against this tree now, up above this gorgeous canopy. I've got some azaleas in the background, lots of space under here, and I don't know if you can hear the raindrops, but it's a really sweet, subtle sound that I'm enjoying this morning. So the practice of branching breathing is one that I came up with when I noticed myself, I caught myself thinking, and I noticed myself staring very kind of blankly at a tree, almost through it. And so in that moment, when I found myself thinking, I decided to more intentionally focus my gaze on the tree, and I started to imagine my thoughts wiggling up each branch to the end and then going back down. And it was a practice of actually following my thought all the way to its end, which is never, and then really following it back to its source, where it came from. Why am I thinking this? Why is this on my mind? So I let myself trace the branches that way. And as soon as I had my fill of thinking, which happened quite quickly, I got over it. Not as much satisfaction as I thought I would have going through that mental exercise. I decided instead to switch tracing the branches from the base of the tree up to the end of the trunk and branches to breathing. So as I would breathe, I'd look at the base of the tree, right here around the roots and trunk, and I would inhale, following one branch at a time, all the way up, out to the very end of the branch. And then I would exhale, following my gaze up this branch, hit the trunk, down to the base. And so this is what I call branching breathing, that I invite you to do with me. And I'll tilt my camera so you can also look at the branches I'm looking at. So we'll take a few breaths together. So maybe just let all your air out. Take a few breaths at your own pace and settle in wherever you are. Maybe you're sitting at the base of a tree, like where I'm sitting. Maybe you're sitting on your bed or sitting at your desk. Maybe you have a tree you're imagining. Maybe you have a tree as the background imagery on your computer. Imagine a tree or see a tree. So we'll inhale, follow the base of the tree, up, choose a branch, follow that branch all the way, keep inhaling. Good, and then exhale. Keep your eyes on the branch all the way back down. Good, do that another time. Pick a different branch. Inhale. Different branch all the way to the end. Follow it down, 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 down. Good, and exhale. Back. Just notice the difference that you're feeling with those two breaths. Having something physical in this earth world to anchor it in, something to connect to. Maybe you're already feeling this connection to the branching pattern in trees and the branching pattern in your lungs that are almost identical, almost mathematically, really mathematically identical, the way they tessellate and branch out. Breathe into that sense of connection. Maybe take another breath in, follow a branch, inhale. All the way down the branch, all the way, all the way, all the way, all the way, all the way. Exhale. To the trunk, to the roots, let it out. Maybe hold your breath for 3 counts. 2, 3, and inhale. Beautiful. So I just want to invite you to explore either the continuation of this branching breathing practice, or perhaps the sense of connection that might be growing in you between your lungs and the branches of a tree. To be continued.